Hello everybody and welcome back to another Fortnite replay review. This is currently the first day of week 4 of season 4, so we do need to accommodate for the changes made for this week. So if we look on the minimap, there are about 10 people towards Tomato and Whaling, maybe 15, so that is something that we need to account for as part of these matches. Alright, let's get right into it. So this first part of the replay, we're just looting. We want to eventually move towards Whaling because that's where the fights are going to be. We do equip the new jetpack, but we want, there it is in action, but we want first and foremost to get some loot before we move towards it because we know there's going to be so many people. So we're just learning how to use it just a little bit. There is an overheating mechanic, as you can see, so that is something that you need to take into account. Also, it does have a limited energy capacity, so if you use it too much, you will burn out of fuel. But I think I find 3 of them this match, so we're not too worried about the cost of them. So this chest counts for the whaling chest. This is why I'm going for this. This is my initial goal. I'm trying to get my challenges done, you know, work towards that Omega, so we're just quickly looting as we move in towards whaling. Alright, moving into the good stuff, the fights. This first fight, we've got a guy over here. We're just moving towards him slowly and stealthily. We do also have one guy on the right side, so they are going to engage each other, and we are going to try and intercept the fight. So one goes to finish off the other guy, and we finish him off with a headshot almost at the same second as the other guy dies, giving us a great deal of loot. Moving into the replay just a little bit more, we decide to move in towards this guy who has been in a build fight, so we want to clean up as he's probably got quite a bit of loot. So this fight is really going to showcase what the jetpack is all about and why the jetpack can work for you. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of it, but I do like the combination of the jetpack with the moon rocks because it gives you way more height and it negates fall damage, so you don't have to worry about that. So we're just going to move in here, we're going to build up, we're going to cut off to the left, we're going to basically move ourselves up as high as possible and start taking non-traditional angles. We hit him for 33. We're going to jump back up, and as he moves to the left side, we're just going to follow him. That's another 33 and a 66, so he should be down to 66 health. We're going to drop him out of his cover, go for the pump shot. We're going to miss. We miss an additional pump shot, and then finish him off with the pump. So if you're wondering how the shots are being fired from the pump so quickly, I am running double pump. I'm trying to learn how to do it. Not so much because it's cheesy or anything like that, but because it seems like it's becoming a staple of the meta, so it is something that I'm trying to adopt. Only because it allows me to be more aggressive, not because like it helps win fights. Like I could box up and play like a more build heavy defensive style, but it just really doesn't cater to the kind of fights that I want to be in. So moving up towards these two, they are engaged in a fight, so let's see how we handle this. We pressure this John Wick for 33, and he gets behind cover. We know there's another guy, but that's not our concern right now. We're going to jump right in. We're going to start putting pressure on this John Wick. We're going to keep pressuring through his walls. Our goal is to have a shot bleed through where he hesitates and hit him, because every shot that we get in this situation puts us at an advantage, and we have enough ammunition that we can waste it doing this. We're going to drop on top real quick just because we have the jetpack, otherwise that would be fairly dangerous, but he's not going for that. When we hear him drink, we're going to continue to pressure his walls. We're going to move in as part of the wall. That strips all of his shield. He's down to 0 shield, so what we're going to do is we're going to start protecting ourselves and breaking walls because we need control. He's going to come up above us, but there's one behind us, so we are going to take some pressure there. So we do take 2 hits from behind us, so we're just going to need to wall our back off. And then we're going to start pressuring this John Wick as he heals. So we want him to think that we're hesitating, and then we just finish him off through the wall. So it's really just a matter of keeping the pressure up and keeping yourself safe. We're going to switch out our jetpack here so we have a little bit more advantage. We're going to take the high ground, and then we're immediately going to protect ourselves on all sides and just try and figure out where this guy is. So this is a replay that I especially liked, and I was really hoping that it would result in a victory just because I wanted to upload this replay because it showcases something that I'm not very good at, which is knowing when to disengage from a fight. So if we look at the circle right now, we are about halfway between the circle and the edge that's moving in very quickly, and we do need some time to loot and get our shields back up, so we are not in a good position right here. We're outside of the zone, This guy has the high ground. We can take a little bit of space here by editing and then pushing forward with a ramp, but that's really the limit of what we can do here. As he hesitates and moves downward, we can come up above him and hit him for a 66 damage shield. But like, knowing when to disengage in this fight is extremely important, and being aware of how many jump pads you have, what natural cover is there to protect you, and how aggressive the other person is going to be as you move towards zone is extremely important. So this guy decides to bunker up outside of zone, and that really gives us the opportunity to move in, because we don't really have a reason to stay outside of zone and bleed 2 or 4 damage per second just to fight one guy. So we're going to move on in while our loot is still decent. So for this setup, I do not believe we have a sniper rifle. I think we just have the jetpack, the minis, the assault rifle, and the 2 pumps. So it is a very aggressive setup that we have, but I do believe that we have one more jump pad. So moving into circle here, we're just checking our surroundings. We're trying to be careful with it. So if we look at the circle, the high ground are these 3 hills, one here, and one here. But as this next circle gets created, the high ground becomes this one hill. So that is something that we need to play around. This guy comes to our side, so we're going to wall it off. We're going to go for the pump shot. We're going to miss. Cannot hit the second pump shot. We're getting pressured from behind, so what we're going to do is we're going to relocate ourselves so that we're not in the middle. So this is a little bit of like a strategy that's not going to function in every game, because you can't always relocate yourself just using jump pads, but it is a decision that we make because there is such a thing as wasting jump pads, but in this situation I figured that staying there would likely be a death sentence, and by moving outside I can kind of take the fight from a different angle and possibly clean them both up, which could result in 4 jump pads. So we're going to move on in. Keep in mind, if my movement seems awkward with the jump pad, that's just because like I've never flown one before. It is day 1 of the jump pad, the jetpacks right now, so that does accommodate for it. So we are going to double ramp up because this guy was putting some pressure on us, and when he turns his back, we're going to hit him for a nice 33. When he drops behind, we're going to jump pad in. He's going to drop below us just a little bit, so what we're going to do is we're going to jump, put a floor under us, move towards him. He's now boxed himself in under us. This is a very traditional strategy, so what we're going to do is we're going to get on top of him, and we're going to start breaking this floor. We want to be off of the floor just a little bit in case he tries to trap us, which he will be going for right there, but luckily we do put up our own floor. He tries to break our floor, and what we do is while he's focused on breaking our floor, we pressure him basically as soon as the floor comes down and finish him off. So there's still one person under us, and they're coming to our side. So we're going to hit them with a very nice jumping pump shot. You know, we protect ourselves until his delay is up, and then we just hit him with a very nice shot. Alright, moving into this next section of replay, there is a little bit of dead space, but we do get quite a bit of loot. We now have a sniper rifle, we have a SCAR, we still have our 2 shotguns, but I believe that they've been upgraded in quality. So we are in a good spot. So moving into this next section of replay here, we're going to move back towards the jump pad that we originally had, and we're going to see a group fighting relatively far away from us. So what we're going to do is we're going to decide to engage them while they're engaging each other, as this will give us a greater chance of killing them. So what we're going to do is try and avoid their sightlines as we move up, even though this makes sound, and try and isolate the fights. So this first guy, we're just going to hit him with 1, 2, 3. The last one was a headshot, SCAR shots, and then we're going to move up on this guy. When he gets up and above us, we're just going to box ourselves in. We're going to try and locate him. And what we're going to do is we're going to double ramp. If you box yourself in, you automatically basically get the double ramp. Then what we're going to do is we're going to box ourselves in, and he's taking the high ground again. We're going to edit this. He's above us, and he's broken the wall. So what we're going to do is we're going to pressure the floor while we pressure him. And when he breaks our floor, we're just going to jump through and hit him with a pump. So that strategy moved fairly quickly, but the important thing was when he took the high ground, we boxed ourselves in to protect ourselves, assess the situation, and then double ramped upwards. When he ran on top of our double ramp, we decided to make the play of boxing ourselves in again and then looking towards him. And he had put the floor above us, so when he went to edit that and pressure us, we moved to the side of his shot, started to pressure him with the AR, and also pressured his floor. And then as soon as we broke his floor, we put our own, which led him to try and edit, but it caused him to hesitate. So he was floundering for what to do. And then it was just a matter of waiting for his shot to try and break the wall, and then just pressuring him with the pump. So it was really trying to bait out his pump shot while keeping ourselves safe. Moving into this next section of replay, we do need to get to the high ground. We need to ascend this hill. So we're going to do that. When we get on top of this hill, we're going to look towards this tower, which is still in zone but will be out of zone, and we know that somebody's going to be in there. We don't want to pressure it while it's still out of zone. So we're going to wait for them to move inwards, as they are at the highest point. They have the highest ground right now. And taking that ground would really not win us anything. They would just move away and we'd get pressured from the side. So it's not worth our time to engage. So this guy's going to move down and under past the hill. This other guy is in the metal structure, so we're going to move towards him. We're going to keep ourselves safe with these ramps, but we do need to be careful, because when we create a new ramp, because they're sunk into the ground, our head is exposed. We're going to come up to this water tower, and we are going to box ourselves in, keep ourselves safe. And then what we're going to do is we're basically, myself and the green guy outlined behind this red shack, we are both going to pressure this middle guy as much as possible, as he has the most established position, even if he's outside of zone, because mine is built off of water tower. So I'm going to pressure the guy on the side just a little bit. I want him to be a little bit scared of me, and I want him to just be taking one angle. So by breaking his cover just a little bit, it puts him in a more insecure position. Continuing this fight, we're just going to take down this guy's structure, and as he moves towards the other guy, which is outside of zone, he's making a smart play of pushing out and then into zone, rather than push in and then have to push out. He's going to quickly heal. We're going to keep pressuring him, and eventually they are going to engage each other, and we're just going to try and get some shots in to this last guy as he moves into zone. So this guy is making some decent plays. His building is a little bit awkward just because he's feeling pressured, so we hit him with 3 lovely shots to strip his shield. And then we hit him with a headshot to finish off his HP. So he had about 70 HP, and he had full shield, I believe. But it's hard to tell, but I believe that was the case. So we're looking for this last guy. We're just edit peeking. Turns out that he's climbed into this tower below us, this water tower. So what we decide to do is create a floor to run along. And when this happens, we're going to get pressured from behind, so we're going to quickly build. We're going to look towards him. We haven't figured out where he is yet. We're trying to find out what angle he's at. That's why I'm moving as I'm constructing these. And then when we see his body, we just move up slightly. And we're trying to figure out if he's still in there. But when he decides to break this, it's clear that he's not there anymore. So we're just going to protect ourselves, put ourselves in a box, and then immediately edit the box and move up. We're going to protect our side. We figured out where he is now. We're going to hit him with an 8 damage pump shot, a 56 damage pump shot, and then we're going to floor under us. He's going to come up our side. We're going to hit him for 108, double pump, and finish him off. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this replay or any of the others, if you want to support the DG team, you know what buttons to press. I'm not going to tell you what to do.